welcome to another edition of BoxCon Global Community Spotlight. Hope everyone is doing well. Big up to everyone in the Twitch chat, everyone inside so far, and everyone that's coming in. My name's Hobbit. I will be your host for today, for this evening. Welcome. If you've not been here before, Community Spotlight is here to basically talk to some members of our beautiful beatbox scene about their involvement with different communities in the beatboxing world, and also their journey into beatboxing, how they discovered it, and all the kind of amazing stuff that they're doing. So yeah, I've been lucky enough to host a few of these and chat to some great people. And today I've got a very good friend of mine, all the way from a lovely little island called Madeira off the coast of Portugal. He is, you may have seen him around hosting some of the battles online recently, and also being like a figurehead in the kind of beatbox scene in Portugal and internationally. So please, everyone in the chat, make some noise for my guest today, MixFX. How you doing, bro?
Yeah. What's up? How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, very well. Good for seeing you. How's things? How's life?
Everything is good, man. Everything is good. Events have just got a bit slower. Everything is going better now, so I'm just focusing on different stuff. So yeah, I feel everybody is coming back to their natural habitat. So let's go.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of it's nearing winter, so it's a bit more hibernation time now, right? So everyone's kind of getting back to keyboards and and beatboxing in front of the camera again after having a little taste of outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, wicked to have you here. Like I said, for anyone who doesn't know your good self, you've been about for a while. I think one of the first, if not the first, videos I saw of you was, correct me if I'm wrong on the name, but it's something like 17-year-old bass monster, which is a video on Swissbeatbox. I think that's one of the first videos I saw of you where everyone was like, oh my gosh, this guy's bass is ridiculous. And then, you've just been about kind of ever since then, and more recently smashing it on the hosting things, which we're going to get to in a bit. But first of all, let's start at day one. Let's talk about your beatbox journey, MixFX beatbox journey. How did you discover beatboxing, and what brought you here to where you are now?
Yeah, so pretty much what got me into beatboxing was what most of the guys from my era started with. Joseph Pulpo. Everybody knows Pulpo. He was doing a commercial for a cell phone company in Portugal, and I happened to saw that on TV. Got me very interested. I looked for human sounds, mouth music, mouth sounds, and it just led me into a video of Reap Swan's interview on Beatbox Battle TV 10 years ago or 11 years ago. And on that same interview, he talks about humanbeatbox.com, the forum at the time. It made me go into that, and I found Ventrilo. I found so many videos, and that's where my path started.
Sick. Nice, man. Yeah, that's it's quite a common route for some people, but also it's new for a lot of the new guys out there who've like not gone on that journey of humanbeatbox.com, which at the time, as you rightly say, the forums, and then from these forums, things like Ventrilo, which for anyone who doesn't know, Ventrilo was like kind of like Discord, but not as fancy.
Yeah. Very vintage Discord.
Yeah.
With
but there was
no friends list, no chats, no anything. We just entered, joined, talked. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Beatbox for God knows how long. But wicked, man. And then from like when you discovered beatboxing and obviously started, how long was it until you started performing or getting into kind of the more scene element of the battles and performance?
So I started battling online and making videos, and from making videos, I got that video you talked about, 17-year-old bassliner on Swissbeatbox, and that was kind of a ramp for me to get into stages. I didn't even think of that at the time, but it led me into performing in festivals, in clubs, in any sort of event. I already did that. it was I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have been part of these different events, from clubs to festivals to fashion to how do you call it?
Like a fashion
to get
show?
funds for a cause. I was in those type of events as well. Man, many types of events.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's super cool, man.
Thanks,
and
man.
I guess it's like it's one of those things because I think, am I right in saying that you were like the first Portuguese beatboxer to be posted on Swissbeatbox, like to do a shout out for Swissbeatbox anyway?
Solo, yeah. Solo, I was the first. Because
So
before me, I remember there was Rubinho in a jam in 2009 on the World Champs with guys like Deme, Reepswan, Vatang, and then after that there was HS with Alem on a shout out together. They were together, and the first solo guy was me.
Yeah,
17-year-old bassliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. So yeah, I guess like having that video on there, and obviously the views that it's racked up helps, like you say, it helped get you in the limelight for doing these shows.
For sure.
And then I guess to kind of talk about that, you say you performing in clubs, and I guess that was clubs in like Madeira and in Portugal. How is it as a beatboxer? Do you find performing in a club, like maybe after a DJ, or like kind of breaking up that night? Because obviously in a club, it's very much like everyone's getting their drink on, everyone's dancing, and you've got a DJ, and then suddenly some guys on coming to beatbox. How did you find that being a beatboxer in that situation? Oh, I think you're muted, bro.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry. So I'd say that in my island, there's a lot of people in the event industry that really support art, and most people really get into different types of things. And beatboxing was none different. When I got called into these clubs, into these festivals, the people there already were kind of going there to see what beatboxing was and what beatboxing I was bringing. They didn't really know what beatbox type of show I was bringing, but they knew that beatboxing was something they've never really seen face to face. So I think my approach to them was something new, and their approach to me was something new as well. And I think the synergy between both was something unbelievable. I'd say this club this club called Vespers in my island it's one of the most legendary places here, and the show there, man, was so magical. It's not magical in the club, but this club, man, the vibes are crazy. It was full of people, man. Crazy.
I wish I'd gone there. I visited Madeira once for I think I was there for one night before I had to get on a cruise ship, and I was like, I wish I'd known about this club then. But it sounds cool because it's interesting. I think that topic's quite interesting because, when it comes to like those kind of shows, not like you've obviously been very lucky in that way you've been performing, but sometimes it can be taken a different way, and it's like, oh, why is this guy beatboxing when there's like the music's happening? But it's finding the way to make yourself unique to fit that kind of section. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I get that. Some people don't really get themselves to fit certain types of clubs or festivals or whatever, but it's a process. I think it's an experience. If they don't fit the first time, I'd say that they'll fit the next time, and the next time, and the next time. It's just a way of delivering the show. Exactly,
and then and it's experience thing. Sometimes you'll do it and you'll completely flop, and you're like, wow, I never want to beatbox again. But then you go back in like 2 weeks, and then you smash it, and you're like, this was the best show of my life.
For sure.
So what kind of other shows have you been doing? Like, apart from solo shows, have you done any like collaborative projects with other acts or any groups?
Yeah, for sure. My second show ever, I was performing in the casino here with the band. It was surprising to me because they invited me to join their band. There was a drum player, there was a guy playing saxophone, a bass player, piano, and a guitar, and I kind of jammed with them. I even had a solo space for me, like a solo in the schedule. So it was pretty amazing. This experience was my first experience to even jam with other artists like instrumentalists. It was amazing.
Sick.
Yeah.
How do you find it as a beatboxer, like having that different like having to kind of change how you do stuff because you're having to give space for like the drums or having to give space for the guitarist? How do you find that as like adapting to that kind of show rather than a solo show where you can just go full on MixFX and go crazy?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so doing the solo show, it's your own space. You can do anything. You can follow your own rules. But if you're doing it with a band or with another artist, you got to follow the rules. You got to follow the line that you both kind of decided together. So it's different, but still, I'd say it's amazing. It's an amazing experience, for sure.
Nice. Sick. Yeah, it's good to know. I like to hear when beatboxers are doing other things, especially collaborating with different acts, because yeah, it's just good experience at the end of the day.
For sure, man. For sure, I love it.
And yeah, so I guess to talk about a bit about your kind of your battling history, you were saying you did a lot of battles online, but you are also, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the Portuguese Loopstation Champion, the tag team vice champion, and you were in the solo top 3 in 2018. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's correct.
So it sounds like you have your battle experience now. And so how do you find battling? How is it? How is the battle scene out in Portugal, and how do you find battling as a beatboxer?
I'd say that battling is definitely something cool. It's pretty cool to battle other beatboxers, battle of styles. But I'd say that's not really my place. I'd say that I like showcasing way more than battling, way more. Because I don't know, the competition type of vibe is not the best. At least for me, I get too angry when I'm battling. I don't know. It's just a weird experience.
You go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, Super Saiyan. Yeah, you're just focused on the battle mode and winning the battle. That it's not the best experience ever. When you compare it to showcasing.
Yeah, for sure. But for the tag team category, how did you find that, and how long did you prepare with your tag team partner? What was your tag team name?
My tag team name is Outsiders. The guy who I'm tag teaming with is Napping.
Yeah.
Napping is 10 years younger than me.
Oh wow!
And he followed up, man. Such a crazy guy. He's beatboxing for like 2 years, and man, we just synced up together. It was very fun. We were together 4 times before the championship. We didn't even have much routines. We had, I think, 1 full routine and bits of other routines just to follow up with freestyles a little bit, because it was our first tag team championship, and we got lucky, and we kind of vibed the correct way on stage, and we delivered. We got 2nd place, so it was amazing.
Yeah, sick. I think it's so nice when you find a beatboxer that you do really click with, and you're like, hey, we could probably do something here. And when it works,
for sure.
Yeah.
And he also lives in my island, which is amazing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask that. That makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's
Truly.
a lot of travel. And then for the loop station, so I think for me, forgive me, but I didn't realize that you were the loop station champion. I knew that I've seen a couple of loop station bits that you did, but I didn't realize that you were the champion. So big up for that. But how did you find prepping loop station like battle rounds compared to preparing like a loop station showcase? How did you find that kind of like transition to do that differently?
Yeah, so for looping, I kind of left a little bit solo for 19. I left it kind of down a little bit to just focus on looping. And there were 3 wildcards for the championship, but the guys kind of last minute didn't show up. So the judges in the org kind of said, the competitors didn't really show up, and I kind of got the title by showcasing like 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I've seen it happen a lot of times actually around the world. It's kind of a weird situation in my opinion.
Yeah.
But still, I'm the champion. I'm gonna represent Portugal in the World Champs when it happens, and that's it. I kind of just prepare myself to do my music, and if there's a battle, there's a battle. If there's not,
yeah, for sure. I think it's it's an interesting thing with looping. I think there's like kind of like a big, not big, but there's definitely a divide in like the community involving like, do a loop station battle, does it have to be a certain time length, or should it be more based on a showcase kind of side of things? And the judges are kind of deciding on what is their preference based on a showcase. What's your opinion on that? Do you feel like kind of loop station battles do you think they have a place as they are at the moment with like the kind of regimented 3-minute slot and then it being more a battle, or do you think it could work as like a more showcase kind of battle?
Yeah. I think it makes more sense in kind of a showcase type of battle. 3 minutes, in my opinion, being a looper, I think 3 minutes is not adjusted to a loop routine. I'd say 4 to 5 minutes is the best. The artist sometimes has to cut routines into 3 minutes to just have the routine into a battle round. And that cuts a little bit of creativity and the flow of the beat itself. I'd say that it fits more in a showcase type of battle, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think I do. I'm with you on that. It's really interesting because I think you make a good point about like, especially when it's the 3-minute time slot, you're like, oh, but I want to build this up and I want to make it really epic, but now I have to cut like 3 harmonies or 3 extra beats off because that's like, that'll save me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. That's really it. That's really it. Cutting a little bit, it makes a whole difference in the beat, and you're cutting it just for the round, and it kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe there will be one at some point in the future, or maybe you should organize one. There you go.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
So, can you talk a bit about the beatbox battle scene out in Portugal, and let everyone know about the Portugal Beatbox League as well, and what that's all about?
Okay, so the battle scene in Portugal kind of started in around 2010. There was a tourney, and then 2011 there was a championship. In 2012 there was another championship, and then it switched from one brand to another brand, and that guy did 2 years again. And in 2014 it kind of stopped. Everything stopped. The community kind of died, if I may say. It kind of died. A lot of people just got away the community. Some stopped beatboxing. Some didn't really know what was going on, and it was kind of it was sad because I saw the community kind of go away, and I didn't really have many people to go to in terms of beatbox community in Portugal. Mm. So in around 2017, in the I think November, October, Pablo. Mm-hmm. Pablo kind of made a group on Facebook, and he was like, yo, we cannot continue like this. We have to do a change. Let's unite forces and just make a battle. Let's make a championship. We need it. The community needs it. And man, that was that most amazing thing we could have ever done, because it bring the community back together. And there's so many new guys in the community, and Portugal Beatbox League just provided that for us. We kind of just made the group together. It's a beatboxer to beatboxer kind of group. We think about beatboxing. We are beatboxers. We know what we are trying to do, or at least we know what is supposed to be done, and we just work in that way. We kind of unite a little bit of each of the members' monies, and we just make the championships each year until we find someday a sponsor, possibly.
Yeah. The hardest job in beatbox. That was find the
so
sponsor.
So hard. It's unbelievable.
There's someone out there. But yeah, I think that's really great to hear, man. I didn't realize, because I remember that when it kind of disappeared, because I judged the battle out there in 2012 in Porto, and then I can't remember if it was the next year or maybe 2014. Someone did message me about coming out to judge, but then it kind of nothing happened and it kind of disappeared. So it's great to hear that it's it's come back and it's strong, and it sounds like it's really brought the community together out there.
We try, man. We try.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
We do live events. We try to do online events, just trying to make the people be confident and just have their time, and just make beatboxing, like Portuguese beatbox, being exposed to the world, and make people know that we're here and we have a word to say. That's pretty much it. What we're trying to do.
Sick. That's a great ethos. I think the beatbox community needs to listen to that ethos, because that can go a long way in just generally. And that's not picking it on anyone. That's just general life. But yeah. So I guess to talk about, you touched on doing online stuff there as well, and I think a lot of people have seen you around, especially in the last few months. I think you said that you've done like 60 plus shows this year, which is like involved either judging or organizing or hosting. And, we've seen you hosting a bunch of different battles, some for Beatbox International, Grand Beatbox Battle. How has that been for you? How did that all come about? And when did that start? Did it start as soon as COVID went, no more fun?
Not really. It wasn't really because of COVID. In Portugal Beatbox League, we kind of started the year with an event. We were working on that, and I think around March or February, I knew that Alem wanted to do a Discord server, so I helped him out with that, and he wanted to make a battle. So I helped Alem make a battle. I hosted that for him, and through there, it just opened so many doors. I was working with Swissbeatbox. I was working with Beatbox community. I was working with French Beatbox family for judging. With Uruz for the Latin Champs Online. Man, I was working with a lot of these brands, and it just makes me be grateful about being a member of this community, man. I found a love in doing something else other than just beatboxing. Hosting, I love it. I love it so much. The energy that people make me feel online, I cannot imagine on a stage. Online is amazing. Judging, it makes me look into different points of beatboxing that you don't really usually look at. And organizing just gets me behind the scenes and makes me kind of help the event grow, and the event show that people that there's opportunities for everybody, and everybody can do anything. So, man, I'm grateful for everything. Despite being 60 plus events, it was hard. It was hard at some points, and I kind of shout out Decoy as well. Decoy has been doing a lot as well. Man, he knows. It's been quite a lot. It's been crazy. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Great. It sounds like a big job, a really great job to do, especially as it's not been everything in the same kind of thing. You've hosted some, you've judged some, and you've also helped organize some. So it's been like a nice mix. There you go, of everything.
Yeah, a nice mix of effects.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you find, as a beatboxer, how do you find hosting obviously not comparing it to beatboxing, but how do you find it differently? Because there's been some beatboxers out there, like obviously everyone knows Scott Jackson, who's a hell of a host, and then from the UK we have Basics and MC Zany, who also like host the UK champs sometimes. And there's a lot of beatboxers out there who do the hosting, but for you, how do you find it different? Like, as a difference to beatboxing? Do you prefer hosting? How do you feel about it?
I like hosting. It's just MixFX the beatboxer. It's MixFX the communicator. I'm kind of just bringing people into my way of experiencing the event. I'm just bringing them in my way of just communicating, just chatting, just living the event. And I feel like people like my way of hosting, but I've seen some comments online saying like, you're the new Scott Jackson, you're the new this, you're the new that. I'm not. I like this opportunity for hosting, but I'm nowhere near the other guys, especially Scott, these legendary hosts. I'm just a guy trying to help in any matter that I can help, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. No,
Yeah.
big up. And hey,
Thanks,
never
man.
say never.
Big
One
up.
day you can grow into Scott. You never know. You just have to hit the bench press. But do you feel like once we return back to some normality and live show starts again, you'd like to start doing more hosting as well?
Yeah, for sure. If there's an opportunity, I would love to. But yeah, I will also would like to experience battling internationally, as I didn't have the opportunity this year.
Yeah, so this is my next thing I wanted to talk about. Obviously,
Yeah.
one of the few battles that happened this year was the French Beatbox Champs, which happened in February, which I very thankfully just made it to, and that was like the first and last party of 2020, Beatbox party anyway. But then the amazing TNAB every year puts on the Florida Beatbox Battle, which I think was supposed to happen in like June, maybe? April. Okay,
Yeah.
and then it got moved to like July, and then it finally got moved again to September. And they made it happen, and it looked great. I was watching from home. I was incredibly jealous because everyone was beatboxing together in front of an audience and battling, and I was at home crying. But how was it for you? Because obviously, you got the. Did you get the? I think you got the first place wildcard, right?
Yes, I did. It was the first time a Portuguese beatboxer won a wild card, and we won 2 wild cards. We won first place and second place. It was me and Jiwao. Yeah, shout out to Jiwao. Jiwao was there in France, but I couldn't go. COVID kind of difficulted my life, and in this one-time opportunity I get in the last 10 years, there's no way that I can go. And man, I was feeling a bit hopeless, to be honest, but I think 2021 is probably the year. I say this every year, but man, let's see.
There's gonna be like 17 beatbox battles every weekend in 2021. It's gonna be crazy.
Man, if I hope somebody invents the teleportation machine so that we can be in every event at the same time.
Exactly. But we just have to get like a big we'll just get a big beatbox tour bus that has a stage at the back, and we can all battle and just travel around.
Man, that would be amazing.
Hey, that's a good idea. Sponsors, hit me up. So yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's amazing that some of these events can happen. In the UK, we're still kind of not doing events, but kind of are. But we're definitely, we obviously don't have the UK Beatbox Championship, sadly. But there's a lot to adapting online. So are you planning on doing more stuff online? Because obviously you say you're having a little break, but are you planning to do some more stuff? Are you planning on organizing anything?
I don't think right now, but we are kind of, us Portugal Beatbox League, we're kind of connected with some brands for a near future. We're probably going to do some partnering up with some brands to do kind of events online. But yeah, I'm kind of laying back a little bit, kind of on a break from events. But I'll probably be back soon. If not this year, probably the beginning of the next one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of focusing right now in making stuff, like making videos and producing content, because I've been needing to do that, and now I have the material and the products to achieve that. So yeah,
sick,
I'm gonna do it.
I'm excited to see that. I think that's it's a good point to make. You have to focus on yourself as an artist, as well as good as it is and as much fun you're having, doing these other projects and hosting and judging all these things. It's good to invest time into MixFX and create some dope content for everyone to see.
Yeah, man, for sure. I kind of looked into my beatboxing path this year, and I kind of didn't really focus on it much. Even with Florida happening, I kind of didn't really practice that much, and I kind of missed that. And I think this time of the year is the time the right time to go back and practice. That's it. That's what I'm doing.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wicked, man. Well, that nicely brings on to my next kind of question for you, which is about some of your well-known beatbox techniques. Obviously, the one thing we've got to talk about is your ridiculously low bass. How did that come about, man? Like, how did you discover it? Did you work really hard? Did you be like, hey, Big Ben, I'm gonna get a lower bass than you? What was your thoughts behind getting that bass? Because it's pretty crazy.
Thanks, man. It's been a passion of mine. Just looking at videos. You mentioned Big Ben. There's Big Ben. There's Kim. There's Slizzer. There's Reeves One. Man, so many guys with crazy bass lines just made me think, man, if they can produce those sounds, I can too. So I don't know. I kind of got into bassline by just inspiration, and I just started practicing different ways of doing it. And while I was understanding how my body worked, I kind of discovered a new technique, and that's why my bass is that low, probably because I do something that probably anybody else doesn't do. Nice. That is mixing the bass with overtones in a different way. I know that Benja is doing that. I know that Warlock from Australia is also doing that, but my bass is a different bass from theirs, and that's what makes it beautiful.
So, yeah. And he also does 500 press-ups a day, guys. So his chest is massive to hold that giant bass. And obviously you have like a load of other really cool sounds, like your little. I wish I knew the name, but you have like a sound. That
yeah,
super sick. So for like all those other sounds, like I guess the question is like, where do you draw inspiration from, other than just hearing beatboxing and stuff? Where do you draw a lot of your inspiration from?
Yeah, just listening to music, man. Just even to produce tracks, I just listen to a lot of music and try to mimic those crazy flips on songs, and just crazy build-ups, crazy drops, and I just try to mimic what they're doing and do it my way in beatboxing. Nice. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Simple as, but it's definitely effective.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. And cool, man. I think there was one other thing which I wanted to ask you, which was about, you were saying before that you've been lucky to do like a lot of different shows and festivals and stuff, but I've also seen that you've been featured on a few like Portuguese radio shows and TV shows. I think you were on like popular Portuguese channel RTP. Did I say that right? It's close enough. How did you find your beatboxing's received on being on like more mainstream kind of shows, like radio shows and TV shows? How did you find that how you were received?
As I said, man, the people here are very receptive. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah,
receptive. Okay, so yeah, they just support a lot of different types of doing stuff. Even if it's art, if it's different types of crafts. I don't know. There's many things they support, and especially radio shows and TV shows here. Man, they just support a lot. If you're an artist, they just look out for you, and they just let you have a little bit on their show, and to just showcase what you can do and showcase what you do and your story, and that's pretty amazing. That's how I got in radio. For example, radio, I got in there just for being a beatboxer, and they invited me to go in a festival and be the commentator for the radio. Like they broadcast, they kind of broadcast the sound of the event, and they talk in between concerts, and I was one of the commentators. Man, it was a different experience. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, and also I'm in a new project for a local radio. So if you guys follow my socials, you'll see that there's something crazy coming soon. Yeah.
Sick. I'm excited to see that. MixFX on the radios.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Sick, man. That's wicked. And I think you make a good point about, like doing these things, being on radio, that opened the door for you to play a festival. I'm sure being on TV opened the door for playing different shows and stuff as well. So it's always good to do these kind of things. And it's very lucky that you're in a place like where Portugal's so receptive of it, because it's it's obviously worked well in your favor.
Yeah, I love this here, man. There's opportunities for everybody, and it's still living on an island is something away from everybody, but it's still living in paradise, and there's everything here. So for the people asking me why still live here, man, it's paradise. Why will I live here? Why would I leave this place? Like it doesn't make sense.
It is beautiful. I went on the cable car. It's great.
Yeah, man.
Wicked, bro. All right, man. It's been great to chat to you. But before we finish, I think it's about time for the beautiful people to hear some skills from the man like MixFX. So, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
All right, wicked. All right, without further ado, everyone in the chat, put your ones up for MixFX in 3, 2, 1. Beatbox.
Yeah. Two sounds at the same time. Cepat like it's hot. Yeah.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Oh, la, 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 la. Muito bom.
Obrigado.
That was crazy.
Thanks,
All I've
man.
got to say after that is anyone who attended Florida Beatbox Battle, you're lucky MixFX couldn't make it. So.
Man, shout out for everybody, especially to Tianab. Tianab has been doing a lot of work to make the event still on this pandemic type of era. And shout out to Tianab. He's bad man, absolute bad man.
Yes. Big love to TNA. Miss you, bro. Well, Mix, thank you, bro. That freestyle was dope, and it was really great to chat to you. Before we finish, is there anything you'd like to plug? Anything you've got coming up? Or if not, just tell people where they can find you on the internets.
Okay, so before I even plug myself, shout out to Yason for BeatboxCon Global. Shout out to Douche for streaming this. Shout out for Hobbit for this crazy chat. Love this guy. Guys, if you want to follow me, you go on YouTube, MixFX. I got a Facebook page also, MixFX. Instagram at the MixFX. And that's it. If you guys like my stuff, you guys want to follow my stuff, that's it. Good shout out for everybody.
Straight up. Yeah, go and follow, especially the Instagram. Get involved. Come and see what this radio thing is all about, because I'm intrigued. I'll be following, as always. But yeah, bro, thank you so much for being here again. Everyone in the chat, put your ones up, make some noise for MixFX. Thank you. Once again, I've been your host, Hobbit. This has been BoxCon Global Community Spotlight. Have a lovely rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Peace.